Monday, dumelang ra amohela ho lenano la shift. It's a beautiful Monday. Lebitso la ka ke nna ka mohelo Bombe ke tsapa re tlo thabela haholo lenano la rra la Katjeko. Buti Aaron.
Hey Tara, so South Africa ra dumedisa ke re ke Monday mo botsana kudu. I hope re mo leng gona weekend a sili lena le jile yona. Abantu baseka icho into sanambola ku shift bethu nani. Monday omhle umvulo omhle kakhulu. Ayithit. Khabiza basenext sohlala phansi si shiften sonke. Yanithanda bona nje.
Ngiyakhohle ke man funa uku-interact nathi ningayenza kanjalo ngokusifonela ku 083 okanye ku Facebook na ku Twitter @shift on SABC1. Mamhla ka re bolela ka lerato. How do you show love? Or when you're the next person.
You know,
I know you always say I love you.
Yeah.
But
what's about the tricky thinking?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't bolela ne.
Yes.
But then you bolela for some people are enough.
Yeah.
Ne. Whether you mean or you mean.
Yeah.
You somebody if I try gore I kwe. Utwela gore I bone or I feel.
Yeah.
That's the tricky part. Because when from your own heart, uzama mo convince ro amarata because o moncha ka tsela yena understand na go amarata. Yeah.
And then mara wena bona jwang gore motho ke wa nrata. Ka di etsa ga.
Still ka midiro ya.
Yeah.
Ka ditiro tsa gaga.
Alright, ke topic le tle be re bolela ka yona mamotla gore wena na ha re bolela ka lerato o bona jwang gore motho ke wa go rata le gona wena o dia jwang go bontsha motho mo go ratsa keng ka mo puta rona ke a le rata botse botse.
And ebile a kre ka sa tsebe le Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And I guess why batho ba fasa ka Valentine's Day because le mogala be Valentino a re motsebe lo motseba. Ge motho sa rekela chocolate ba di roses ka Valentine's motho ba o ba sal ke gore no I want to rekela di roses I want celebrate Valentine's Day because I want rat because yena o nagana re lerato ko yena motho ke Valentine's understand yeah.
Until rato ke into every day.
Into every day.
All right, re ka ntle ya gore senya nako ke nako la gore tsene ko what's on your mind. All right, let's go what's on your mind ke mele gore na lona relation ka letse leng gore ne direga over the weekend or tse leng gore experience it this morning either ke traffic or ya America nya go interview
Yeah.
ya ga road ya motivational talk ko dikolong ke la
Or mhlawumbe into wonderful lenze kule life yakho ufuna ushare nathi ungakwazi ke mntasekhaya 0839133720 or SMS ku 33720 shift at sabc.co.za and then ku social media sikhona ke shift on SABC kuzo zonke ke mntasekhaya mamela ke into ngayiprefer into bana on the phone in fact bekinana ka weekend
yes
ke khale re felleditse go bolla le motho wa bakhelo ba ke se ba close Khlobedu
a ke se bo sebelela mara ke tsa go rona gona sebelela
wena wa se kwa mara
yeah ke se kwa sona ka se ntle
I would be so happy if na se ka mokhano ke ba le bolena ke khumane motho wa kwa bolobedu wa mphone re ba Khlobedu TV motho wa modimo
I love you. Because go shebela the I know ntate tshekela o rata hampi ka motho
o rata hampi o rata Khlobedu hey so phone andre abe ke sa re bukeng jabula be de phakamata phone andre bana mo TV re ba bontshore le bona re a tseba wa ba TV
we can down
le ba Khlobedu na we can take a bele shap ke bereka kere Saturday and Sunday
na Saturday
ne ke le kontonyela ela o butse batho kana last week
awa ko wena mkhotsa ku skin sack o dia letsela tsa mmereko so nna ke re Saturday ne ke le ko lenyalong la Titimba it was a traditional wedding so beautiful batho ba ntshitse bogone ba bona ba kgantsha gore bona ba para bang nna ne ke apere Seswati
and o bone smart gore
ne ke le botsele
yeah is that I post a picture ga go we post Instagram
yeah Instagram
okay tsena go Instagram @kamu_bombe ta bona picture ga go ba tsana ga mo thapile Saturday ne all right re bolla ka taba tsa wa tseno mind before the phone re go botsa re ratsa re keng there is one person that I'm very proud of and ke meet a legend our very own David Tlale batho ba modimo last night in fact ka 8 o'clock una show ko New York Fashion Week and guess who was showing Liena ke bolla ka batho maina magolo kudu go ka tsena ko Instagram o tla mona David Tlale our very own o wona ko New York Fashion Week Tyson Beckford himself una bolela David Tlale there's a beautiful picture ga mo there's a beautiful picture ga mo
tshwantse le romela email re ka re address le rena
mang
David.
Arapeshinyana.
There's Devin July coming soon, you know.
Well, last year I could mention David Tlale.
Okay, excuse me.
Utaka this year. Yeah, utaka this year.
All right,
very proud of you, David.
Go Mpulukeng, welcome. Mpulukeng, welcome.
Well, name, Sumanes.
Ligai.
Kite, how Mpulukeng? No, runa ri welo wena umametse. Wena arba. Akere tsatse re mamele wena welo runa.
Oh, I see.
What's up?
I know it's
Matamputang.
What I want to say na le wa re tsan one. What I want to sukolo ka o ka clinicing e ga o fika go bolelwa ka hore hona le batho ba la boraro ba so sebeletseng. Wena kana go utlile ke manta o senyena o fitlile ka 3 o'clock misong. Wa utlwa ntho e botlhoko jwang? re na le tleliniki mona go rona monana tšhelang ke ka e bolela ka lebitso mare he ke motsenyane o motšha o sa tswa ga se galo le teng batho ba teng le peito ya sentho tsa bona ile ga re etse totally so hai e ka re ra tlatlapua or something ha ke tsebe totally ho hang e bohloko ntho ya gore o ya tleliniking ka Manta o go tsa ka batho ba la bohlano ba so sebetse ene kana go re fitla ho tseng ipotsa na ke ntho jang ba bang ba khena se ba ngadile le treatment ba se ba sa ilate la bona go bohloko jang
ane ke maphelo a batho ba tsebo
wa tsantse ntse tsa bohloko ene o fumana gore sentse re re khutla o fitlhela beke e latelang mo ntse le fela jwalo o tla sebeletswa next week wena kana go tsa lo kala bekeng ena go ya go kotsing wa utlwa ke ntho jang ene ho bohloko bane ha re ba tle etsa peiteng mo bane ra bona batho ba sokola ene ho bima ke nnete mare e peito ya sentse re di ratang bone mo e le ka letsatsi le leng ka gola le tsoitse hani phaka o tile wa etsa ntse ka ntoi kwa senywa dintho or else because ra tba dintho tsena re di fumanela thateng la bona so ha re kentse batho re tla re batla di services tse hantle e ba ntwe wa itla na e bohloko jwang
e bohloko hampe ntho eo
Yeah,
I just hope gore batho ba tla nagana ba dila ka maphelo a batho and mohlomong le bona di-family members tsa bona ha ba le situation e jwalo ba tlo tlhoka thuso so I hope gore ba tla nagana hape ne all right thank you
hi ke lebohile batho
thank
you
all right
mo tsana le malome wa ka jwang
serious
unfortunately o sa re sile mare hey every time I give shebile 50 ke hopola malome dani
go hopotsa yena that's very sweet mamela he next time o phone o tlo mpitsa malome a rona utlwa
thank you
all right sharp
all right re go limpopo re hello ko santo
enda lima chilon
uri we
ati ho man kala ndingalo doro ndione ngora tingotagara
buthata
ona mina ndina problem ye serious ngamande ndikunyonga dofu ndaleta na bangwa bathu ngazidi hoka ndina problem kala dire actually ndando jengwa kotsa na chimiswa cha private cha college and then problem yabo yori ndiko ba interview nda phone yona ndabuzo ndiko dako screeniwa only to find out qualification zanga zinenda ndabana ndakoda mushumo ngazo adzingo registeriwa petu adzi department of education sakwa na umalusi then zambo ziri zvepewo khane zvo zori nne nditoti muthu olipaho kana muthu otambisawo tshelede and then the only problem ine ndakova nayo ndi yori adidivi uri khamusi ndi thusaleye ndi funa uya gai ngori enda ndo ya hone ndo vhudziwa upfi zwithu zwanga zwiwo fhethu mushumo ndo wana problem ndi nthihi uri zamba zori qualification yangai it's sort of just a piece of paper of which ndingasi ite shithu ngayo and tingabeya phethu ngayo
waste of time and money zikhomba uri as Calvin zanu fly by night ne
zambo no yone college ena ndiko vala nayo ndi imwe ya college khulwane nga maanḓa around Joburg so problem ine ndakona ndi nthihi uri wethu ende zambo zori ndikofuna to thomola sa fasi none ndi khou thoma fasi nga tshelede ifhio futhi ngori already lani ndaenda badela ngei ndandikho ḓivha zori ndi tshi to fhedza ngori course nne ndi khou ita i demanded bad so ndari ndo fhedza tshiṅwe na tshiṅwe tshono just imagine from 2012 and then course lani upfi ndi ṅwaha muthihi up until namusi
ari dire so o ska dropa phone bolela le producer and then o ba fe leina la college ewe bona will see what we can do because normally I report go departmenting
I think that will help
lori wa amanda thiri
okay ndori wa amanda mnkumana
all right sharp
all right mraga papatsho re bolela ka the way I love sishuti
kungikhoma kahle ngikomba rirhandzu ni n'wi respecta ni n'wi endlela na vana
Re tseba re ka Saturday batho ba le marato matho mo dimba re ke Valentine nna Valentine ke celebrate ka re mogala be Valentine ka motsebi go ba bolla ka ena so ja go ja motho re ke celebrate Valentine ba go ba kwata because motho a mo rekela di rose go di chocolate ka re ba khotsi ba ga batho bona ba re ke dileng dingenyana ebile ba bantshitse ba itse kai so re tseba re ke the month of love month of February and everybody will celebrate love ke bolla ka lerato le gore across the board lerato la baratani lerato la family lerato la ba khotsi lerato la di colleague lerato ka moka as lerato you know. And gopla ko tshaya le mathosa are ona le lerato ka mo gare o tla ntshwarela understand ga o nyaka lerato rata le wena then o tla rata. That's what we're talking about today, the way I love, because the trick thing into mntasika into bana xa uthi uthanda umuntu yena engayiboni kanye engayireceive then mhlawumbe ucithi ixesha lakho or mhlawumbe xa ucima wena umuntu uyakuthanda kanti akakuthanda uyaqhatha tricky nayo or uthi umuntu akakuthandi kanti uyakuthanda uyazifela ngawe so sithatha ngaloo nto namhlanje ba wena uthanda ngeziphi na indlela khawusifonele ke 083 913 720 or SMS ku 33720 shift at sabc.co.za ke email arena and then u ka khumana le ko social media shift on SABC1 ka moka ga tsone re fudu ga yo bola segwa kamza.
Alright, let's meet our studio guest ba tlo re botsang gore bona ba bontsha jwang motho mo gore ka ya morata and le gona ba bona jwang motho mo a re wa tsa keng ka mo le nna ke a rata khanyisa.
Ndiyaphila siswami Nkosi.
Right, uput Aaron le kama lakhe ne?
Hello.
Ungambiza mali Aaron.
Hello, madam.
Dr. Chile?
Ishab.
Good.
How are you, ma'am?
Thank you, madam.
I'm well.
Thank you.
Sister Begin. All right. Uput Aaron le. Mara ngambiza malume mafoni.
Okay.
Hey.
Kanyan. Oren.
Oren.
Ndone nani?
Varin.
Hi. Rasao.
Sharp.
All right, re le fa phala shift re le ratja di camera tsa rena ra ya ka ntle ra ile fatlhola gore botse batho ba kushanga re bolela ka lerato le bella moki.
Abantu engibathandayo ngibajengisa ngokubanakekela ukuthi ngiyabathanda ngibe nabo esikhathini noma ngathiwa useyinkingeni ngimsupporte if right ejabule maybe achievile then ngiyamjabulela futhi.
Oh yeah, I'm saying naturally ke rata batho and then quite often le batho they find me approachable. It's easy go tla mo go nna when ba batla help nyana kore a number of times so na lo le ke tlhagella like le di molong so motho tlo reka borotho and the next time is lo mpatla gore ke mo patelle and it's never an issue.
Nakekela nokuthi ngikumamela if unenkinga yabo ngikhona ukukhuluma nawe nginjalo nje ngomuntu omamelayo yona ndlela engikhombisa ngayo uthando babonisa ngokuthi umnika isikhathi sakho yeah if umuntu wami call every day we talk sathexana yeah and then abasendlini banokuthanda ukubenzela izinto abazidingayo
bakhombisa ukuthi ngiyabathanda ngokuthi ngiyaba-respecta yabona uma ngikhuluma nabo ngikhulumi izinto like ezizoba offenda yabona ezizoba hater emotionally
Wena rakgadi yaka ke meletsa everything ka cleana ko ntlong ke make sure gore o sharp sometimes if ga cleana ke make sure gore a tlohele then ke clean le nna
ngoba thonipa no ba phesesa o amba nabo zwavhuḓi u thetshelesana ndi zwine zwa vhori zwi phogwa nga maanḓa zwi sa mini uri muthu ndi muṱuku kana ndi muhulwane kana uhani ngokuba nabo every time whenever they have a problem at least ukhona ukuthi basize. That's the way of showing love.
Mina ngibelieve ukuthi umuntu nje uyamkhombisa nje natural ukuthi umuntu uyamthanda vele whether you girlfriend yakho or uma wakho or any.
Okay, yeah, ne. Mara nanto ngwe makaje kam. Sometimes let's say akero bona gona batho re ba chama for instance out hearing gore ka borotho ko molong sometimes ba kupela aba patelle na.
Yeah.
Ga u chama o kra le everybody obviously waqhaza kwe.
Yes.
And okra maybe if we play out then we end up u rata everybody.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's possible to rata everybody now.
I wonder mara I don't know. I go khona o rate bomma, o rate bosese yao.
Yeah.
O rate bobuti yao.
Yeah.
Ebe o ba le girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah.
So if khona o accommodate batho ba banne.
Na ke ba bane o rata ka le rata different.
Le different obviously.
Ke bolla tabero e re botlhamo na le boyfriend o rata boyfriend je 4.
Ya ke re mara ona le different intentions or maybe means of transport ke mo ratela no tsa fapana so you know. Yeah, o ke mo ratela hore o nrekela lunch o ntisha meriri o so yeah.
O kwa airtime, o kwa di bundles.
Yeah, o ke thabang ke le na panyaza.
Yeah, ne kushibile mntasekhaya xa usifuna uba wena uthanda njani kanye uthandwa njani kanye unqwenela uthandwa njani kanye unqwenela uthanda njani wena injalo uxela uba wena ucinga ntoni na 039133724 number yethu ke ukwazi usifowune like Janet. Somebody said one day love is a very strange beast. Can we ever really define love the way that everybody will understand what is love?
Love is love, first of all, is being able to allow someone else in your life to tie them in your life, and therefore whatever you do affects them. And love originates from God. Our love does not originate from man. No, love originates from God, and love is what gives us that goodness in us to want to do good against evil to someone. And love is an expression. Love is an act. Love is not something you can touch. It's something that you can feel. And love is a will. You see, I can, let's say, meet this young man and I find he's very good looking and I fall in love. I'm obsessed with him. I am emotionally tied to him. But that is not enough to sustain a relationship on the long term. Because if you really base it on feelings and emotions, emotions change, feelings change. So, but when you choose that love, that agreement to support because you have a common purpose, you have a common agenda that you want to achieve. Therefore, you choose to do well, to stand by them, to inspire them at all times. Then you are expressing love to them. But again, you must have that grace in you to want to love. It's a choice. It's a will. I choose to love my husband. I choose to do what is right for him. Even when he is wrong, I cannot do wrong. My loving him is not based on how good he is. I have chosen, I have willed it in my life to love him and to do good at all times. But it is not based on him. When he's wrong, I don't say, oh, my husband messed up this way, therefore I'm also going to mess, because two wrongs don't make a right. It's your self-will. You will yourself and decide, I am going to love this person, I'm going to be in love. And
what I find interesting is that, I mean, we say that love is universal and love is supposedly the language that everybody understands. But love can be very lethal for a lot of people. A lot of people still don't understand, even though Siti Mtasakaya, utando yenye tuba usonge si understand. Umntana uyayibona xa umthanda xa ungamthandiyo. Even akwazi uxelela. I don't know, it's tricky.
But can you express your love to a stranger? Let's say I met him today.
Yes, in fact, there is no time you cannot express love. Just the attitude and the way you talk and the way you answer them says it all. Says it. Yeah, it says. If he comes and you look away and you don't want to talk to him, that's a vibe already. That look, I don't want to. Yeah. Your attitude.
I would swear that you saw them before the show. Even now they are waiting to look at each other.
It's the attitude. The way, there is this saying that actions speak louder than words. So the way you act already indicates, are you for or are you
against?
Khanyisa, wonisa kanjani umuntu ophambi kwakho othi abanye abantu ukuthi uyabathanda?
Mna abantu endibathandayo ndibabonisa ngokuthi ndibahloniphe, ndibaxabise, ndibaxhase, ndibaxelele inyani ngamaxesha onke. Ndibaxabisa ngokuthi umuntu xa ethetha nam ndiyamamela, ndimamelisise, ndingamqhawuli phakathi xa ethetha, kwaxa ndimqhawula phakathi kukudelela and andizokwazi uyiva into ebefuna uyithetha. And ndingakwazi umcebisa okanye umphela indlela efanelekileyo if ebefuna ndimcebisa. And xa into efuna uyithetha kwakhona akazuyibona imfuneko ebeza kum ngoba mna andimniki ixesha lokuthi ndimmamele.
Ungowaphi nono?
Komani.
Asekomani. Ndiyakuva. Ndiyakuva xa uthetha xa uthethe ogxa bakho ngaba
But make sure kanjani ukuthi labantu laba bayabona laba uthi express uthando ukuthi bayabona ukuthi you know what kahle kahle ukhanyisa uyasithanda.
Ezinto abazenzayo ndiyabasupport, ezinto abazenzayo noba zinhle xa esenza umuntu into engalunganga ndiyamxelela inyani ntoba le uyenzayo mina andiyibona ilungile, ndimxelele nezizathu ezibangela ndibone ngolo hlobo. Nabo ke ndiyababona like amaxesha amaninzi nabo benza the same kum, ndilindela ezanto ndizenza kubo nabo bayazenza kum, kulapho ndikhayonayo ukubona ukuba nabo bayandithanda.
Thobekile, wena uthanda kanjani?
Mna abantu endibathandayo ndibabonisa ukuthi ndiba-amukele, ndiba-appreciate and ndibahloniphe futhi.
ngoba umuntu mangamhloniphi what's the point ukuthi uyamthanda ngoba umhloniphi xa uthetha naye izovakala yonke into echoyo ukuthi lo muntu awumthandi you understand and then enye into futhi ibehavior yakho towards the people othi uyabathanda it has to show like umama ashilo ukuthi it's an expression ungasho nje ukuthi aron ndiyakuthanda the next thing emva wenza ezinye izinto is different from lento oyichoyo.
So when you prefer uyiva you prefer uyibona?
Prefer uyibona.
Uyibona njani papa?
The way uthetha nami ngakhona, the way unthetha ngakhona, you don't have to go to unishawere ngama gift nanani. Uma ndi comfortable xa ndinawe for mna, that's me being loved because I'm not gonna act ndibe ngomnye umuntu because of wena ufuna ndibe njalo for wena. Let me be comfortable in my own skin. Then I know ukuthi Aaron uyanthanda.
And wenza lonto for lo muntu naye ayive because the way you understand ngakhona.
Yes.
Okay.
Tanyan, inini bonisana?
The emotions, no care, and being kind to those people.
Yeah.
Gore already the emotions in the one thing chine already chi constant chinga se fade. Already the emotions ndani sombedza the emotions dzanga as wamba zori action speaks louder than words.
Yeah.
The emotions it's some sort of the actions. And then already ndiche nitogomera like caring about you. These two zine na dokonozibona nazo being kind no togomera na the emotions.
Yeah. All right. Ara
Sifiso,
enrobele Sifiso.
Yebo sanibona njani?
Yebo Sifiso siyaphila kunjani?
Siyaphila futhi Aaron uSifiso la ePeter Maritzburg kwethu. Yeah, ngiyeza ngikhuluma ngento ebaluleke kakhulu lapho mfethu uthando. Like example nje mfethu like njenganami yabona lo yena.
Yeah.
Mfethu ngiyamthanda lana mfethu umuntu wami kodwa manje sishawa yini ukukhuluma mfethu yabona yena. Uma ne problem yabona bishina ngaphakathi kuyena. Umbona wena ukuthi akekho right kodwa mawuze uyambuza athula ukuthi athena akekho right ayiza lo yena. Lo yena nawe manje masifaki enga ngoba usukufisa nawe ukuthi ube kanye naye nama ngenza iphutha futhi ngifuna sixoxe sikhulumisane kodwa i-communication ayikuyinto angayikhonzile.
Mara Sifiso ne if uyabona ukuthi akusumuntu okhulumayo if inenkinga ne mhlambe ku the way angakhona why wacaba ukuthi inkinga wena for wena
ngicabanga ukuthi mina hello
yasilalela
yeah ngicabanga ukuthi mina yonke inkinga iyasolva futhi Aaron ayikho inkinga efanele ukuthi umuntu ayigcine ngaphakathi inkinga nenkinga nanoma yipi fanele ukuthi isolve uyayizwa la ngoba la moya engekho right mhlawumbe ngisuke ngiyitshela nami ngiyisole mhlawumbe mina owenza imistake ayibona manje nami ngisuke ngifuna ukuthola ukuthi iphutha la mhlawumbe mina olenzile ukuze ma ezongiconfront angitshela nama sengixolise sana sami I'm sorry bekade ngingaqondile kanti uyayizwa la nama ngenza iphutha futhi ngifuna naye enze kanjalo responde kanjalo awukwenzeli lo customer sami I'm sorry ngicabanga kanjalo mina ukuthi iphutha kufanele sithi solve ngoba ngesikhathi ediniwe nami ngisuke ngithi mina umonini
Mara okay so manje niyenza kanjani ke uyisolva kanjani makunjalo because uyamazi ukuthi umuntu akunjani ayithi if uthula kakhulu yeah
igcine ngasolvekile mfethu igcine ngasolvekile mfethu kwamanje nami ngithoze ngiyisola ukuthi mhlawumbe ingumonile lo muntu why phamba ngitshela yabona lo yabona nami ke manje sesokufika sengathi yaxabana yabona sokufika sengathi yaxabana manje ukuthi ngitshele phela kwenze njani ukuthi kanje lapho uzombona ngathi manje usedini usephakamisa umoya ngahlala mina khona okuronke esengishila ngikano axoxe manje ngephutha ngitshele nami ngizokwenza kanjalo
but Sifiso siyabonga ne
lalela before drop ifone Sifiso ne ubukele umuntu wakho
angisi
ubukele shift manje umuntu wakho
akekho njengamanje bengifise ngawukhona yani
ngicela umfonele umtshela abukele shift azokwazi ukufunda kahle ukuthi uthando lo-expressa kanjani mhlawumbe izokusiza lonto leyo
akekho usetohweni njengamanje ngicabanga ikhona yiyo
afuna usho igama lakhe eTV
usibongile
oh right okay sharp abangani bakhe bazomtshela thanks Sifiso ne
ngifuna be right ayibona
nizoba right yazi uyazokala ukuthi uyamthanda
yeah strong kanjani mfethu manje sendaba sixabana mfethu
no kuzolunga Sifiso
okay
yeah isifiso sami ukuthi kulunge Sifiso yes all right sharp all right isho into mntaseke namhlanje sishaya indaba zothando because sometimes uyathanda umuntu wabaqoma nje akayiva lento uthethayo akayiboni lento uyenzayo and mhlawumbe nawe uyakuthanda uyiboni nawe uyenza njani nayo zeziphi na indlela osebenzisayo so make sure intobana omunye umuntu uyakwazi ulamkela uthando onalo for yena masine break xa sibuye siyaqhubeka intobana sifunda njani na ukuthanda abantu nothandwa ngabantu siyabuya
the only moment I wasn't loved, but it was not motelling or gamo for start. Nele fella like a taxi driver and it's very think neke spanning back so I realized it's a taxi for nekele shorting kazaka, and when I tried to explain the guy wouldn't understand for the guy namela bang taxi asenazaka so he had to drop me off. I had for no get low back home and I won't go to work for that day.
Sengiyazi vele abantu abakuthandi bonke phela siyona imali yabo. Khona abantu abakuzondayo, khona abakuthandayo.
Let's say ngiyahamba, I'm walking, then ngibona abantu baphambili phambi kwami, then they were smiling and they were laughing and it was nice. Mase ngiyodlula eduze kwabo, then yonke le yanto siyachange and then uyabona ukuthi ama-faces wabo sebeqala ukuba namanga. Yabona ngathi manje kuyachinga ngathi kudlula umuntu abangamthandi.
Motho wa fitla mo wena then a smile mo sefatlhong sa hao mara ha jumpis ka mo pelong hore ya o wa ntlhoya o etsa lotse snacks wa bona o nka stable.
Sometimes maybe yabona umuntu omngane wakho like uyabuzela ukuthi uyamthanda and then uyabe khomba nje uthando half of it akakhombi nje lonke.
Sometimes omunye umuntu uthi uyamkhulumisa engathanda ukukhuluma nawe ungamenzanga next. You understand? Sometimes ufuna ukumsiza abone ngazathi maybe usuyambandla usuyambheka kulento ayiyo kanti wena usukumzwela or something unalo usizo ongamsiza ngalo. So ilapho ke ngifila khona umuntu ngazathi uyangizonda.
It happens most of the time utholo ukuthi especially kulezi zinto lezi zama relationship umuntu like utholo ukuthi maybe ilabantu laba bathanda ukuthi bahambe emathaveni ini yena kuze uprove ipoint ukuthi uyamthanda kumele ukuthi umyekela yojive emathaveni ayenze lezi zinto zonke but it's not all about that.
Uthekang thobekile ke bona uthega ke tsega a re motho o ya go dithaveneng no motho ro morata a raya go dithaveneng motho a o ro morata
mo re motho a o rata dithavene ke
Peten taveni.
Yeah. Can you express that now to be how?
O dula go creating then you say that's love.
I get o dula go na le motho how. Maybe by cloud 9 e kana go e ure. Understand? Ke the amontsha hore bona so fa sela tlhana.
How? Mara respect ko kai ma o tlompisa go thave go
kana respect ke eng?
Respect kana itaka, you know how I portray myself.
Yeah.
Ke the way wena o tlo nkinka ka teng. The love that blossoms monna ke le gato le o tlo le tsholang monna ke.
But if
so then if o tlo tusa go creating ke apere so.
If ke rata go ya thaveneng nna
then yeah, then if wena o itse o rata ya thaveneng then it's okay. Mara ke apere so ke I mean I can't.
Wena ga o ise kae?
Bo Capelos. I mean, it's nice. I mean, guess what?
No matter, in fact, that's very interesting because I can't wait for when or na as to be killed. I got so. Since I go to the restaurant,
exactly.
Because they will expect that.
Yes, that's how I'm expressing myself. Give the way keep portraying.
No, get the way we now expect or album to rata. Why is it a problem? How about rata katsela high and not katsela high?
How? Yeah. Because get to receive a wrong because that's not my expectation. That's when you receive the way when receive.
And that's the question. Why unahana or tsanze only expected the way when all bona? Why some accepting the way alingating? Ako bontsang katsela high.
It won't be enough for now.
And do you think it's enough for you now? Restaurant?
Then that's where communication has to.
You're not saying that compromise because we're not a person.
No, don't compromise, but communicate. Lena, okay, you know, so then I can also like feel want to adjust to that atmosphere you have.
Marawaha, now to adjust. Now to look creating very quiet.
No,
it's a paraphrase.
Marina, we go now to restaurant.
Then family ke tshwara go baking for
yeah, imagine you're not a restaurant in All-Star. Imagine.
That's where communication family betting. Because we need to talk about Riako Capelos. You cannot wear skippers outside DMT study color card. No. Apara hempeli jacket, they ube sophisticated. Yeah. That's where communication lies.
Yo, hi, are kumpumalanga rwel timsan timsani?
Yo, Msanzi.
Ukhona njani?
Yaphila. Yeah, into engiyithandayo mina ngothando. Ngithanda umuntu ukuthi xa sithandana angangifihleli. nami ndingamfihleli sikwazi ukuthi yonke into esiyithethayo sazisane ngayo.
Ufihleli ntoni?
Nje masithanda ukuthi mhlawumbe angayithandiyo endiyenzayo angayifihli.
Kaloku kuyonqena ukuhethisha because iyakuthanda that's why ifihla.
Yeah, ile nto engayifuniyo ukuthi onje yenze ukuthi singavisisani ngokuthanda ukuthi lonakala yabona.
Awufihli next wena Msanzi?
Hayi mina ngifihli andithandi ngimfihleli.
Nyani.
Siyabona ukuthi mangaba ngizoba ndiyasebenza xa ngaba ndili-off sinasisikhathi sibabili sinokole ngokuthanda ukuthi sidabule into emnandi yabona.
And then uthando kwifamily yakho libonisa kanjani because wena every time uhlala unalo sisi lo?
Ya nami ifamily yami ndinexesha lalo ukuthi ngihlale nayo naye ndifumane ixesha lakhe ukuthi sihlale sibabini sinokole nefamily yami kanjalo. Yabona.
So prefer honest wena ndiyakuva Msanzi. Uyayazi uba urhola malini?
Hayi.
Uyazele ukuthi makazi.
Uyayazi uba uyambonisa i-payslip yakho because awufihli musi wena uyamthanda ndithi.
Yeah, ndiyambonisa.
Mthana ungokhethekileyo.
Yeah, mangaba ngiholile ngithethele i-payslip ndibuya naye siyayivula phambi kwakhe sibheke sobabili.
Thiza wami yena
naye abona asho ukuthi okay ngoku uholile ukhole imali eso ndifuna okay sorry ngifuna senze kanje emalini uthenge into eso engathi izoba right endini into nje iyabona kanjalo yabona.
Yo Msanzi yabona banenza ikopi zabayeni bafuna ukwenza ikopi ngawe i-original. Sharp ke ne? Okay cool. Khanyisa nangu umyeni Msanzi.
Ngibonile sendimthathile. Alright ngo.
Kodwa unomuntu ndiyazi uba nithi umuntu uthathe emntwini.
Exactly.
Thiza.
Usho ngamphethe i-girlfriend kaMsanzi.
Andiva ke?
Ungashaya i-girlfriend kaMsanzi.
Andithi uvile uMsanzi uthi i-girlfriend yakhe ilekha kuphi so ke mna ke ndizofika ndicorrect eza mistakes zala girlfriend yakhe.
Yo uze ngekhokhi pen njani? Bonke nangamso shifter.
Yabona ke.
Masote lento.
Exactly.
Yo Msanzi.
But angithi bosho ukuthi wena abantu uthando ukubabonisa ngokuhlala uba supporta kwizinto abazenzayo we respect. Wena ubona kanjani ukuthi bona bayakuthanda or ubona kanjani ukuthi labantu laba baya understand ukuthi yezini guys I appreciate you and ngiyanthanda because sometimes umuntu ungaloku umsupport ashela ukuthi maybe uya pretend or something like that.
Okay, amaxesha amaninzi like umuntu xa umthanda ne uspenda ixesha elinintsi naye like niyancokola ukwazi understand ndoba umuntu ngunje lona umuntu ngumuntu onjena and umuntu xa umthanda uthanda nento encinci kuye like mhlawumbe uthanda nendlela le abehave ngayo ne-attitude le yakhe towards wena ubona uba ndithanda kanye le nto yenza mhlawumbe umuntu unemoods okanye indlela athetha ngayo nawe akakurespect uphela uthanda naloo nto umuntu xa somthanda nyani.
Okay ithile kufacebook ngespeed apha Lerato Christopher sirenqa athi I don't know how to express my love to others and when I try I push them away from me.
Doctor.
Oh, that's a good one. First of all, there is what you call love languages. And that's a very important aspect that people should understand.
Yeah.
And there are about 5 or 6, depending on what you want to look at least 6 love languages that are out there. Now, there is there is quality time. Someone may say, especially when couples are arguing or even boyfriend and girlfriend, they're arguing, they're saying, you don't spend time with me. You are always too busy. You never listen to me. You never hear me out. That means that that person's language love is that they need you to spend time with them. When you sit with them and talk with them, then they feel you love them. Their emotional tank, because every person has an emotional tank of love. Now, if you, as my spouse, or as my boyfriend, or as my girlfriend, or even as a parent, or even as a child, you don't feel that emotional tank, and that emotional tank is empty, then of course they will rebel, they don't like you, they'll say you don't express their love, and therefore they withdraw and they complain. That is one love language, quality time. Then you have the other group of people who says, the only way for me to know that you love me is by acts of service. you tell me every morning that you love me, yet you cannot lift a finger and help me take the garbage out or do the shopping or get the children from school or even come for me. You don't help me in any way. There is no action on your part, but there is words, and words to me are not effective. They are not filling my emotional tank at all. Therefore, the love language for that spouse or for that friend is actually acts of service. Then you also have another third category of people who require physical touch. They want to see that you put your hand around them. When you're walking in the mall, you're holding their hands. You're walking together. You embrace them. You kiss them and tell them, hey, good morning, how are you doing? You embrace them. Or when you are driving, maybe you put your hand on their lap or on their shoulder. To them,
I wouldn't suggest that.
No, I mean, don't worry.
If you're driving and then you're brushing somebody's thighs.
It's just to put the hand, It depends which spouse. Remember, it's not just the one driving. You are thinking about the one driving. No, I'm talking about the other spouse.
Even worse. Imagine you're driving and somebody's touching your thighs.
But this person only gets fulfilled and feels your love for them by your physical touch. That is there, and that is why it becomes important. If you are in a relationship that has purpose, not just any relationship, a relationship that has purpose, that has direction, that is going somewhere, then you go to the steps of learning what is the love language of my spouse. Then you have another category, which is the fourth one, which is receiving gifts. All right? Receiving gifts. There are people who, the only way they understand that you love them is if you bring them gifts. Or like your boyfriend or your husband may go away for a trip for maybe a month or 2 weeks. And they come back and they say, what? Darling, you brought me nothing? After being away for 2 weeks? That means you didn't even miss me. No, you know, how? How can you be away? Yeah, how can you be away that long and you don't bring me even a perfume or even anything? Now, to them, when you bring them gifts, when it's their anniversary, when it's their weddings, when it's even there is no occasion, even a flower, even a bar of chocolate or whatever, they feel loved. Their emotional tank is filled, and therefore a man scoops in very high points, and then they are able to. In
the interest of time, because I want to understand, to say, how do you then as a person understand another person's act of love towards you? But then let's hold you there. Which category do you think you fall in?
I think
Are you fully shipping? Are you fully traveling?
Okay. And it's expensive, Aaron. I'm not expensive at all. But then, I think in Fola under a category, unbonise, like let it express it. Don't just say it mumlomo. Express it. Let it be in action. Yes. Let it be in action. You don't even like it. No.
Okay.
I think personally, Chabutogwa Kane, doing all the basics of love. Nengasi reach the basics in the gifts in Satutoma the basics.
Right.
The basics, it's when my children are good morning. It shows you cross my mind every time. Nah, the SMS in this tools, as you know. Already need to do so visa na going out and everything. Zuba the cherries on top of whatever. But then chire important and already ndichinufuna naini ni duzubona naini duzufila mara chautogo ndore naini ni tomeni chidufuna.
When uzibona ani.
Nende dufuna ngamani. Necho toma atukonu fa munwa mutulufuna nende sa.
Yeah, okay.
Ndito toma ndadufuna ni kona hani ufuna Aaron. Arali ni munensa difuni.
Okay.
Ni sahani kamu guy ininsa tukono disa fofetu. Nengaskono zuita.
Yeah.
Sisi mnandi prefer chitha ixesha elininzi nabantu endibathandayo. Like xa uchitha ixesha elininzi nabantu bathandayo kulapho nikhona ukufunda nakhona ukuba lo ngumuntu onje and into enje nenje akayithandi. Kodwa ke le gifts andizichasanga.
Uyathanda ubrush kodwa?
Ay, kakhulu.
Asonto Western Township City. Hello Gumbali. Mbali.
Hi, how are you?
Ngkhona kunjani sis?
ukhuluma nombali lapho sowethu I believe ukuthi uthando goes with respect. You know, and if you respect the person and then understand and then you have the same goals, then love is the first thing in hand. Yeah, so love is really something special. It's a feeling, actually. Nobody can describe it. Yeah, so it's basically on how you feel about the person. But if you feel the same way, then heads up to all those lovers out there.
Yeah, it's up to all the lovers out there. All right. But Janet, how do we then understand that somebody really loves you in the way that they love? Because if you expect it the way that you do it, you're never going to get it, like you said earlier.
Yeah, it's all there. It's actually, interestingly enough, the only way that you find out what your spouse's or your relationship's love language is actually when you quarrel. When you have a misunderstanding, that's the time. Because that's the time someone tells you, hey, come on, you tell me every day you love me, but you don't lift a finger. That means, hey, this person's love language is acts of service. Yeah, you will never touch me unless I initiate it. That's the physical touch. It's when they are complaining and saying, every time you go for a trip, you come back and you don't give me anything, you just go, you don't, that means I am a person who needs gift. You are always so busy, like, a man is told that, like, I'll tell you an incident where every time the wife wanted to speak to the husband is either watching TV or reading a magazine or doing something else all the time. So, of course, the wife realizes, this guy, I don't come first. Every time she wants to talk to him, he's busy and he's telling me, and he's telling her, I am listening to you. But he's not listening. If you really are listening, you switch off the TV, cover that magazine, and look at me in the eye and tell me, yes, baby, what do you want? And then you listen. Then I know you are engaging me. To the extent that one lady actually phoned her husband's office and spoke to the secretary and said, oh, this is Mrs. Kumalo. I'm calling to book in an appointment with Mr. Kumalo. And the secretary said, yes, this is Mrs. Kumalo. I want to have an appointment to speak to Mr. Kumalo. And then the husband was told, yes, Mrs. Kumalo should like an appointment. She said, book me in tomorrow at 10. Why? Because this husband, though he comes home daily, he never spends time. So the wife thought the only way then to speak to this guy is actually book an appointment and go and see him in the office and explain what it is, because he doesn't see the value. So the complaints are the ones that give us the keys.
The complaints are the one that gives us the key. Those are the signs.
Those are the signs. Okay. What is it? Listen, when they're complaining, what are they complaining about constantly?
You know what? Time is out. Before SABC 1 complains, we have to go to an ad break. Thank you so much for coming through. I hope that somebody can at least understand love and stop being frustrated. When do you think it's important? Is it important to understand how people love you now? 98% it yes. And only 2% it no. So abantu bakuthanda it's important to understand the next person, which means that xa understand umuntu indlela akuthanda ngayo the way umthanda ngayo, then happily ever after. Okay, siyabuya xa sibuya sabe sithatha nomuntu ofike apha with ECD, Early Childhood Development Awards ezikhoyo ezenzekayo. 11 years and they're still going on. Siyabuya. Zikhipha awards, zikhipha ntoni na, zithini updates ezintsha, intoni eyenzekayo ekhoyo apha emhlabeni apha eMzantsi Afrika ekufuneka mna nawe siyazi. Kamu?
Alright, zikhipha natsa gore ke mo ile gore na lona relation ka lo tseleng gore da dira in and around South Africa. Mamtla ge re na le Abuti Mthembi, Buteng Mthembi ba tla go joleng the ECD. I was gore botse ke eng na I thought gore ke tsa bana ba primary no, re ba re ka le bana ba crash. Minjani?
Economy njani sesikamu?
Ai bolabole ni ti ECD awards in.
Ti ECD awards tani leswi hi vulavula hi swona earlier. Ku kombisa rirhandzu.
Yes.
So ti ECD awards kombisa rirhandzu ka lava va tirhaka na vana va hina, tindzumula ta hina. ECD practitioners, ECD centers where they work. We also work with the center that work with children with disability and so on. It's just to recognize the excellent work that they are doing, and to also recognize the best practice, to recognize innovation amongst early childhood development practitioners. It is the Teachers Awards of crutches. To put it basically, because the teachers because the Teachers Awards are more popular. Yes, it is the Teachers Awards for them. But we also recognize the centers where these kids are.
Now, still 11 years ti lokuti run, and then this say expect
This year, Itabana Tona Food, say Sungurili there in provinces. We've already done 3 provinces. Kushotati province, that's 6. Then Itabana, the national awards, 26th March. Ronalembelerwa. The Ingataba Greswa, Minister of Social Development, Manana Batabile Dlamini, na COY, na Dr. Vielwan Club, 26th March.
Banubangena Jan.
Banubangena, Ikuba nominatiwa. Banominatiwa laba batira kuna bona.
Okay.
Banominatiwa the colleagues tabona or parents or whatever. And it's usually open about September, August, September of the year before, where we go through a month or 2 where people can enter the awards. There are forms that they fill in. There are certain things that we look out for in looking at adjudicating each of the 6 categories that we have. So people enter and then they are adjudicated and then they are judged and then we get the top ones to come to Joburg, 18 top ones from the different provinces to come to Joburg and then we do the final adjudication.
For more info, Kumakwe.
Mga Kumaka 011 018 5500. Twitter handle at NDA_RSA. Yes.
NDA_RSA.
Yeah, nalega Facebook as well.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Can you go put?
Inko.
Yeah,
Thank you.
The producer never complained about last week. I was still going to Spanish look.
Spanish look. Shana John.
Yeah, Spanish look. Yeah.
All right, let's find out la rala mamo shift. Tomorrow we're talking about medical parole. The rola la gabatho lo kotrongo gore botse botse se motho a lo ala le kotrongo. Ke te feng di wese le gore di ka mothusa gore a tsoka trongo. Di steps le gore ba di tse.
Yeah, and it channel wena gore o khona go kushisha umhlambi seka o khona uqona ka kune bana I justice system isebenza njani na because ngamanye amaxesha omnye umuntu xa igulile kwazi ukhutsha omnye ayigulaza afele etrongwetho kubani oyifumanayo ifumana ke xa kutheni yenziwa njani as family members nenza njani nalo nto leyo sina ngayo ngomso bana si understand njani justice system yethu thini thanda nonke emakhaya baba imbethu sharp.